With the recent Mega Dimension DLC having introduced so many new Mega Pokemon into the game, I'm back once again to make Pokemon into Poké-MEN, this time taking suggestions from the comments on my previous videos, with a newer Mega surprise for those who stick around. Getting right into things, the first Pokemon I'll be hitting with the personification beam is Mega Lopunny. This was suggested by sleepyhead_037, and I thought it was a great idea. Lopunny is a more traditionally feminine Pokemon with a cutesy aesthetic, and its Mega retains this, but adds a rough and tumble flair as it gains the fighting type. I actually completed a full drawing for Lopunny about a month ago, but life happened and I had to put this video on the back burner for a bit. When I eventually came back to it, I wasn't satisfied with the execution of my ideas. I knew I could do better, so I started from scratch. I kept the overall pose and composition the same, even bringing over the exact Lopunny drawing from the original, which I decided to include as a point of comparison for the human design. He's posed mid-action, readying a kick to his opponent, with his hands curled into loose fists to really sell the fighting type energy. The first major change I made to the original drawing was taking the X-shaped bit of fluff from Mega Lopunny, and instead of making it an oddly shaped section of hair, I turned it into a bandana. For Lopunny's ears, I think the easiest solution would be to give the character pigtails, but I wanted to go for a more unique style, with the hair being gathered at the top in a ponytail that splits into bubble braids, which are segmented by rounded scrunchies to mimic the fluff on Mega Lopunny's ears. The rest is decently one-to-one. I gave him yellow arm warmers to resemble the fluff on Lopunny's lower arms, and a black skin-tight turtleneck with an angled shape to resemble the dark coloring on Mega Lopunny's chest, with matching leggings that are ripped in a few places. Pretty one-to-one with the patterns on the Mega's legs. To break up the design a bit more, I included a yellow hoodie wrapped around his waist, which also helps to accentuate the feeling of movement in the pose. In the end, I think he really captures the look I was going for from the start, and I'm super pleased with my redo. He looks powerful, but also friendly. I bet he'd be the type to have seemingly boundless energy, always with something to do. Next up is Mega Audino, suggested by Tweedlebug123. Audino is another very cutesy Pokemon, with its Mega evolution gaining the Fairy typing, as well as additional adorable frills and details. Visually being on the shorter side of things, I decided to go for a more boyish look for Mega Audino's human form. He's posed as if looking down at someone, ready to offer a helping hand, perhaps. The posing gave me a bit of trouble, as well as his expression, but I eventually settled on having one hand on his face, and the other in his jacket pocket, which I made to resemble Audino's body frills, as well as a lab coat, such that a doctor might wear. Mega Audino is posed next to him in a similar way, mimicking his posture, and they both have gentle smiles on their faces. I gave him a short white bob with long bangs and curled strands framing the sides of his face to resemble Audino's feelers. I also added wing-shaped hair clips to mirror the shapes of Audino's ears. He wears puffy yellow shorts to stand in for Audino's round belly area, and a pink shirt with a round white clasp details at the collar. I did my best to incorporate the scalloped edges present in Mega Audino's design in various places in his clothing, not only working the shapes into his jacket hem and collar, but also adding a white lace detail onto his yellow socks. His eyes are a bright pink, drawing extra attention to his face, and I made the background a warm peachy tone. I think he turned out super cute, and we would certainly be the type to fuss over his friends excessively, perhaps even overlooking his own health as a result. He definitely means well, but can be a little overbearing at times. Our next Mega is Scrafty, as suggested by ShadowSlime3640. Scrafty is a Pokemon I've always liked a lot, with Dark being my overall favorite Pokemon type. And Scrafty's silly little guy energy is so endearing. Its pants are too big for its body! How fun! In its Mega form, Scrafty's shed skin turns white, and it dons the hood that was previously around its neck. For a secondary fighting type, Scrafty is pretty scrawny, even in its Mega form, so I didn't want to make my interpretation overly muscular. His pose is a little menacing, being viewed from below similarly to Audino, but with Scrafty's characteristic toothy scowl. He doesn't seem like the helpful sort. He wears a white hood similar to Mega Scrafty's, with tattered edges showing wear. His oversized pants similarly have little slashes in the fabric, exposing his legs. His loose tank top is a gray color to represent the segmented strip of gray traveling down Scrafty's torso, and he has a chain belt accessory which shares this color. His hands are tucked away in his pants pockets, with his elbows jutting out the sides, and his stance is wide to add to the feeling of intimidation. I gave him a jagged tattoo over his shoulder, colored with a pink gradient, in reference to how Mega Evolution energy is depicted in some of the official artwork. His red hair is spiked, with the top being longer than the sides. I felt like the style suited him better than a traditional mohawk, even if that would have been more accurate. I think he turned out nicely, even if he wouldn't generally be considered nice. I imagine that he actually cares about his friends and family deep down, although he has a hard time showing it honestly. He's definitely no stranger to a scuffle, and I imagine he might consider our Lopunny as a sort of rival. Lastly, it's the one you've been waiting for. Or did you just skip ahead? Either way, the last Mega I'll be drawing today is the brand new Mega Chimecho. Chimecho is a cute, but sort of forgettable Pokemon, and I think that its Mega was well deserved, although a standard evolution wouldn't have been bad either. Its Mega form pays homage to its pre-evolution, Chingling, with golden accents in the shape of the round bell-like Pokemon. It's almost as if the two Pokemon have merged. When drawing him, I decided that he shouldn't look too masculine, as Chimecho strikes me as a more androgynous Pokemon. I enjoy subverting expectations sometimes, yes, Mega Lopunny, but I had a vision with this one. I initially debated on if I should include Chimecho in this video, for a few reasons, one being that I thought its ribbon might look similar to my Lopunny design if I incorporated it as a headpiece. However, when I started on the drawing, I had the idea to turn it into a red and white striped scarf, and I thought that suited the design quite well. His pose is in motion, having an energetic vibe and a mischievous smile, but with more subdued shape language, carrying over the round and rectangular shapes of Mega Chimecho. To mimic the cheek markings, I gave his hairstyle jagged strands that overlap his face and are dyed red in color. He wears a vest and wrap with patterning resembling the bottom of Chimecho's body, with simple white underclothes. A golden bell dangles from his scarf as a nod to Chingling, and his jewelry carries the color around to other parts of his design. To represent the mini Chimecho shapes hanging off of its Mega, I added multicolored tassels to his vest. I'm especially pleased with how he turned out, perhaps my favorite design of the video, which makes sense as it is the most recent one I completed. I think he would be a bit of a prankster, but all in good fun, of course. He'd certainly be a music lover, and I think he would consult Audino for advice regularly, while hiding behind Lopunny when a prank against Scrafty goes awry. Thank you, as always, for making it this far into the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more, and leave a comment with what you'd like to see next, be it more Mega Poké-Men ideas, or something else entirely. My life has been a bit hectic recently, but I hope to have more videos out in the near future as things seem to be settling down more. Until next time!